CINAHL is a specialized database that covers professional journals in the nursing and allied health fields. The title stands for Cumulative Index to Nursing and Allied Health Literature. If you are planning a career in the health professions, CINAHL will be your most important database, and it's also a great choice for anyone researching a health-related issue. To access CINAHL from the library's website at library.clackamas.edu, under Find Articles, you can choose the database's A to Z list and scroll down to CINAHL, or open the Magazines and Journals link to see the short list of our most important databases. CINAHL is one of the databases we buy from the vendor EBSCO, so just click the EBSCO link, and at EBSCO's list of databases, scroll down to CINAHL. You can do a keyword search here like in any of the EBSCO databases, but first I'd like to show you a different way of searching that can really help you out in CINAHL, and that is to use the CINAHL headings. This lets us browse the subject headings that CINAHL uses, and that can be very important for getting good results. If I browse for PTSD, it tells me right away that this database does not use that term. And notice that it doesn't even use the long version, post-traumatic stress disorder. Instead, it uses stress disorders post-traumatic. It may not be obvious, but there are several great features in this view. First, if I click on the term, it shows me what it calls the tree view, and that shows where your term fits in a hierarchy of topics. We see that PTSD is categorized as one of many anxiety disorders. The broadest category is behavioral and mental disorders. Oh, and just for your information, this non-CINAHL here, that just means that this is a term that they've put in to clarify the hierarchy tree. It's not an actual subject heading that CINAHL uses. Another useful feature are the scope notes. Now, they don't give a scope note for everything, and unfortunately they don't give one for PTSD. But these are helpful little definitions. For example, if we look at the scope note for phobic disorders, we'll see that one component is that the person recognizes the fear as unreasonable. But back to our PTSD search. Once you've found the right term, if you click on this box, CINAHL begins to build your search over here. Right now, if I were to click on Search, it's going to find all the articles that have stress disorders post-traumatic as a subject heading. If I mark Major Concept here or over here, it would retrieve only articles that really focus on that subject and leave out articles that have it as only a minor topic. And perhaps most importantly, it's showing me a list of subheadings for this topic that I can use to focus my search. I'll ask for articles that focus on diagnosis, or symptoms, or therapy. Again, notice the scope notes. If I'm not sure what etiology is, I can check, and I see that it has to do with causation. That sounds good, so I'll add that into my search as well. Now, in practice, you might only want to search one of these subheadings at a time. You'll just have to experiment. But I'm going to ask for several because I want a big data set to show you a few more things. Okay, we'll go ahead and search. And I get nearly 5,000 articles. Take a look at the search box. Again, this means that we've asked for articles that have a major heading of stress disorders post-traumatic and focus on diagnosis, symptoms, therapy, or etiology. Okay, we've got a big data set of relevant articles. Let's take a look at ways to limit our results to the best items for our project. CINAHL has a couple of special limits that we don't see in other EBSCO databases: age group and gender. Well, at the moment, I don't really care about gender, but I would like articles about children. Now, notice here, under age, I only have one choice for children 6 to 12 years. But what if I want to include younger children? Notice the Show More button. That will show all the options of different ages. So from here, I can choose the children 6 to 12 years old and also preschool children 2 to 5 years old. I'll update. And now I have 800 some articles that should be about children and PTSD. The other useful limits are the same ones we have in any of the EBSCO databases. We can limit by publication date by using this handy slider. I'll choose articles from about the last 5 years. CINAHL will also let us limit by source type. Notice that along with academic journals and magazines, CINAHL includes some special source types such as continuing education units for practicing health professionals. Now, a word about magazines in CINAHL. Take a look at the results when I select just the magazines. Notice that all of the icons still say academic journal. That's actually a quirk in this particular database. It shows the same icon for both magazines and journals. But it's worse than that. Take a closer look. I asked for magazine articles, but these are clearly journal articles. We can tell by the titles, and it even tells us so here. So the moral of that story is that you can't trust these links to separate journals and magazines correctly. It's best to leave this set to all results. Now, most of what you get in CINAHL will be from peer-reviewed journals, but you'll occasionally find some magazine articles. You'll just have to be able to recognize the difference for yourself. If you're ever in doubt as to whether the item you're looking at is from a journal or a magazine, like Future of Children, it's a little hard to tell, you can open the record, and from the detailed record view, click on the publication title. That takes you to a page of information about the publication, and we can see that yes, this is an academic journal and it is peer-reviewed. Now there's also the question of availability. Notice that this article does not have a full text link here. And in fact, in my whole first page of results, none of these articles have a full text link. Now remember that if you identify an article that would be really good for your project but isn't available full text, we can always get it for you by interlibrary loan. From our home page, just follow the link here to put in your request. However, if you just need a few good articles on your topic, you might want to limit your results to just the ones that are readily available, either full text or in our own collection physically at the library. And now all of the articles left in my results have either a link to the full text or are items that are available here at the library. Be aware that most of our nursing journals are actually kept at the Harmony campus, so ask a librarian if you have any question about how to get them. So that's an introduction to searching CINAHL by using the CINAHL headings and subheadings. There are additional videos that show searching by keyword and working with results. To recap, use the CINAHL heading tab to browse for your topic and find the term CINAHL is using. Click on your term to see the tree view, or check the box and select subheadings. Search and set any limits that may be helpful by age or gender, publication date, and availability. Good hunting, and if you have any trouble finding what you need in this database, be sure to ask your librarian for assistance.